Hi, this is Mrs. Knopf, and today we are going to continue working in our new method book on the trombone with line 18, Mary Had a Little Lamb. So let's get started. We have the same three notes that we've been working with, B flat, C, and D, not necessarily in that order though. So at the beginning, as always, trombone is reading the bass clef. And then we have our key signature. We have our B flat on the second line. This tells us that any B that we come across is first position B flat. And then we have an E flat on the third space that tells us if we had any E's, they would be E flat. So our key signature with two flats tells us that we are in the key of B flat. Next, we have our time signature. The top number tells us we have 4 beats in every measure, and the bottom number tells us the value of the whole note. So our whole note gets 4 beats, and half of a whole note is a half note, half of 4 is 2. So any half notes that you see will get 2 full beats. And then half of a half note is a quarter note, half of 2 is 1. So all of those quarter notes get 1 beat each. So now let's go through and see what we have, and let's look for patterns. Our first measure, we have a lot of quarter notes, and we start on third line D, which is fourth position. There we go. So we have a D, we go out to the C, go down, second space, sixth position, and then we go to second line B flat, which is first position, back out to the C in sixth, and then next measure, we are playing 3 Ds that are fourth position. So when we have repeated notes, it is important to tongue. So we sound like we're playing 3 different times instead of one big long note. So make sure you start each note with a t sound and let the air carry the sound. So after we play those 3 Ds, 2 quarters and a half, we go out to sixth position and we play 3 Cs the same way. C, C, C. And then back into fourth position, play those 3 Ds again, just like in measure 2. Then we go on to the next line. Measure 5 is exactly like measure 1. D in fourth, C in sixth, B flat in first, back out to sixth for the C. But this time we have 4 quarter note Ds in the next measure. 4, 4, 4, 4. So we don't move our slide. We just use our tongue to interrupt the air. And then in the next measure, we go out to C, play 2 Cs in sixth position. Then we come back to the D in fourth, back out to C, and then B flat is where we land in first position. So hopefully you've noticed some similarities between the first line and the second. Measure 1 and measure 5 are identical. Measure 2 is similar to measure 6, except measure 2 has a half note, whereas measure 6 has all quarter notes. Measure 3 has all Cs, 2 quarters and a half, whereas measure 7 has 2 quarter note Cs, but then we move to the D and back to the C instead of just holding on to another C. And then we land on a B flat instead of going up to the Ds. So we're going to play all the way through, and hopefully you will be able to keep up. So let's play along together. Here we go, fourth position for the D, and it's 4, 6, 1 to start. 1, 2, ready. And that is how you play line 18, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Don't forget to start each note with a t sound, and make sure that you are tonguing at the same time that you move your slide so you don't get any glissandos. I hope this helps, and we'll see you next time.